Well, I guess before we even get started talking about deer, you done any turkey hunting?
I have. I finally got to go on my own. I took a kid on a youth hunt this year on some public ground when it opened up early in the year. And got to hunt some private. I mean, I've heard very little gobbling, but
Yeah. It's been tough here at home as far as gobbling activity. We actually, me and Anthony actually went down south and I ended up killing one down there, and I actually was in pretty fun 5 days. But so back here again with some of the legends deers. Bow kills at that.
just a lot.
Yeah, I hear you love.
Yeah, that there's 25-year-old.
It's almost as old as I am. So, what's the stories on these? How do you want to go about them?
I can tell that one there. I mean, I might not be able to tell you what I wore yesterday or the day before, but I can tell you all about that hunt. I was working down at the paper mill, and it was on a Wednesday, and they was wanting to cut us off early to go ahead and just take Thanksgiving, go ahead and just take a break. And I already talked to some guys, gonna take them to another public ground, show them around. More I thought about it, I was like, man, I could go up here and bow hunt. So I told them how to get there and what to look for and whereabouts and what roads to take, and I tore out. And I got home, and I can't remember if my brother called me or I may have called him. Anyway, he had a buck chasing 2 does that morning, and ended up the doe that the buck was chasing wouldn't want to come by the tree. They split. I was like, well, I'm gonna head up here, and it's a pretty good walk. It's about, when I was younger, it'd take you about hoofing non-stop, take you about 45 minutes, no breaks. That's a hard pace. And when I got back there on the old green field, it was a doe. She was bedded right in the middle of it. And I just brung her off, and I went on trail I wanted to hunt. I climbed it, got up in the tree, settled down, and took a nap. Took a nap when I'm sitting there, and I woke up, and I actually climbed parallel with the field. Why, I don't remember why, the reasoning of it. And I think it was 3 o'clock. I happened to look back up the field, and there was a big rise, big hill in the ridge where the field was at, and I could see a doe. Then walked up another doe. Then walked up another doe. I was sitting there, I could see the back of another deer coming up. Then when he raised his head up, I was like, sure wished I had a rifle. Because as far as he was from me, you know, chances of getting shoot with a bow is probably slim to none.
Yeah.
So, just like a cutting horse you watch on TV, man, he cut that one single doe out of the bunch, and she run all the way down to me and stopped and started feeding. So, the way I was facing the tree, I would peek around one side and I could see him. He done got on this side of the field that I'd climbed on and was walking toward me. I looked back down at her, and she was looking up the tree at me. And I've always heard if they can see your eyes, they gonna see you. I closed my eyes and leaned in behind that tree. And I sat there for a minute, and I peeked around the other side to look at him. He done dropped into a full snake trotting down to her. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna have to shoot at this deer running. And when he got down to where she was standing and feeding at, he stopped. She run back to go with the other does back up on that hill. And he's standing broadside, looking away, looking at him. A perfect opportunity to draw your bow. And he might have been 20, 25 yards. And that's when I had good eyes and could really shoot a bow a lot better than I do now. Man, when I let it go, it smacked him right in the spine. It dropped him in the field, and I look up at them, and all three of them was looking, 3 or 4 was looking back at him. I had that little quickie quiver. I grabbed another arrow out and I put another in him. And they all, them does run off in. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and that little quickie quiver only held 3. It was the small quickie. And man, this deer gets up and wobbles off the field and falls, wobbles, falls, gets up. And when he makes it off the field, I can see where he's just painting trees when he's falling up against them. And man, I blister out there. I climbed down, left my bow under my tree stand, and left. And went to my dad's house, and I told him, I said, and I was so tore up when I made it there, I couldn't even talk to him. I tried to speak, and I just cried. I finally got it out, and he said, son, don't worry about it. That deer will be there tomorrow. I said, Daddy, you ain't got to go, but me and some more, when I round them up, we're going back to the mountain to find this deer. So it was 5 of us, borrowed Tony Myers' deer cart. Me, Daddy, Dwight, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law. My father-in-law had to be at work that night. And Tony was going to go with us, and I said, well, we got enough, I believe. And we get up there, and we go looking for this deer, and you would think he ought to be laying just right out in the wood line there. And we go to tracking this deer, and we run plumb out of blood. But knowing the area, I told my brother-in-law, I said, I think he's going to that bluff gap over there. So they was going to stay and look for blood and start circling, and man, we walked right up on him, there he lay. And it was those happy days then.
What was, what about that year made you hunt there?
0 acorns. 0 acorns in the fields made.
Yeah.
But I was going back to hunt a trail that had a rub on it, but you know, it was just a good trail with a fresh rub on it. That's what I was going, and I climbed just right down from it to try to hunt whatever's coming out. But that's what made me go back, because I thought I was hunting a deer walking that trail. There was a dream, something like that would be walking out following does, but you never know.
Well, what I've noticed tagging along with you for the past couple of years is that's helped me out a lot is more or less the trails,
Oh yeah, it's
regardless of anything else. But it ain't, I guess I've been misunderstanding through the years of trails, because you can find trails throughout the entire wherever
Right.
you're hunting. It's just certain small little fresh details within the trails that makes you want to hunt them trails, I guess.
yeah.
Whether if it's tracks or droppings. Tracks and droppings, I think, are probably the most noticeable as far as fresh.
Yeah, and like this year we had no acorns, and I had several guys contact me, didn't know what was going on, what would they need to look at, and I'm like, man, this year I done really well, but now I was on the struggle bus first of bow season, because the only deer I seen on the early part of bow season was one blew at me and run back up the ridge, and I counted that deer. I was like, man, I seen it. Because it was that bad during bow season, and I left and I went to a different public land and found some acorns dropping and had a 7-point come through. And anyway, I didn't want to shoot him. I was wanting a doe. And but it was like, man, just quit hunting sign like buck sign. I mean, it's good to want to find the scrapes, the rubs, and people's hanging their cameras, getting camera hung up on cameras where, man, it's great to have his picture, but go back and hunt the sign. The bucks are normally where the does are at when they start to chase and looking, and that other piece of public we hunt, That's what I stuck to down there. I went to some old spots where I'd seen deer at the year before, and it was very little sign down in there, but it wasn't no food for them. They was all up in the thicker stuff, eating all the browse. That's really all they had was browse. And after making that one scouting trip, I went back where we'd seen some sign on a ridge back during turkey season last year. I said, man, that would be jammed up. And the first time I climbed it, I seen a spike, 3 or 4 does, and had a buck push one doe down through there. I didn't get a good look at, but he looked pretty good. And then got back, I moved trees about, I don't know, 20, 30 yards to get a better look up Old Skidder Trail, and had pretty decent 8, followed 3 does up through there, but I tried to video, I couldn't get my phone out fast enough because I was gonna make sure it wasn't something I wanted to shoot, so anyway. But just hunting what they're feeding on now. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get hung up on that hunting just buck sign, scrape, your cameras. Cameras are good, but they also, it's a 2-edged sword there. It can run you down a rabbit trail too.
Basically, pay attention to what the woods are doing and hunt what the woods are doing at that time, not what you feel like they ought to be doing, basically.
Yeah, yep. So there ain't nothing for me to pull up and move.
Yeah. That's something else I know too, staying, I guess you could say mobile, but constantly moving on. You spend a day or two in an area and not seeing what you want to see, you're moving to something else.
Right, if I ain't feeding in there, you ain't seeing droppings. Man, I had high hopes where I found some sheds. I mean, high hopes. I hit a stand in there, locked it to a tree. It's 2.5 miles just to where I had my stand, and then I was going further to hunt a deer, and the sign wasn't there when I put the stand in there, and I thought, well, maybe it'll pick up when it gets time. I made one morning hunt, and I pulled up camp. I had to go.
Wow. 25 years ago.
And see, I didn't even have to think about it, did I? It's few people still got the old record book when they used to do it. They can see the story, and you probably, it might not be word for word, but it's real close, you know.
Well, on this deer here,
Well, I went in to hunt an area that I've hunted before, and
now this is this year.
yeah, that's this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't an old memory. That's a new memory.
Yeah.
I went in to hunt a spot that I had to move. The deer I felt like would be using, and I went in that morning, and I looked at the weather, and I thought, man, it ain't low 40s. That would be bad. I took a thin jacket, and that was it. But man, I got up there and got climbed that morning, and it was probably a 15, 20 mile an hour wind. And I got so cold, I stood up. Cause so cold, I couldn't sit back down and not be comfortable. And then I climbed a tree, I think it was a double tree.
It was three.
3.
Yeah.
And man, I was trying to hide. I finally got over to get in behind it to get away from the wind. I'm like, man, I'm about ready to tap out and go to the house. And I stuck it out, and I climbed down that morning. I do a little looking around, and I've done been in this area hunting already this year, and some fresher sign was on further down. I was like, well, so after I seen that fresher sign, this is buck sign, and it's some old cruising trails I know was right in there close by. I was like, well, I walked back and forth, so I'm gonna climb this tree right here, and I was back in the tree. I think I was back in the tree by 11. And if I'd have knew it was gonna be that evening before I seen the deer, I'd have climbed down and got at the base of the tree and crawled up and slept. Man, I was tired. And I sat there, I think it's about 4:30, or the trail back behind me, it runs parallel to the ridge. And it was a high rack 6-point come up through there. And he went on, and right at dark, I could hear deer walking. I'm looking, and he's on the same trail the 6 was, but coming the other direction. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's a doe. And that rangefinder I got a really good magnification on it, so I use it kind of like a binocular from time to time. And I'm looking, and I was like, man, it's got horns. Well, I thought it would just follow the trail and go on. It'd walk a little bit and stop, walk a little bit and stop, just real cautious. Almost like hunting a turkey when he's looking for that hen. I'm talking about, man, he's just stopping, looking, listening, but I guess they don't get big by being dumb, so they're listening to all the surroundings there. And he's easing up through there, walking. It's getting later. He finally makes it up there. I thought, man, this deer's fixing to walk right in under his stand. Well, it happened to be a blowdown by me, right in front of me. And maybe that's what detoured him. He walked right by the root ball. And as he was walking, and somebody said, well, what do you think he shot? I think it had a G4, but I'm not sure, because once he got so close, I wasn't studying horns no more. I'm looking for a shot. And I draw back, and I let it fly, and he wouldn't 7, 8 yards. And I don't think I hit a limb. Really, it might have been a limb there that I could have nicked, but I don't think. I just either target panic got me again, like last year, or I don't know, because eyes are getting bad, and I changed up my bow setup, and I do shoot they've got a verifier lens that goes in your peak to shoot multiple pins where to clear it up, because I wear readers. And I'm running out of excuses for these bad shots.
They're doing good though.
Well, yeah. And in my mind, I was like, man, surely I didn't shoot this deer. I mean, I'm mad up the tree. This deer bounces out there, and this thing got late enough. He might have been 40, 50, 60 yards. He stops. This deer starts blowing. I was like, oh, I'm really mad at myself up the tree. It's like, man, forget the bows. I'm going rifle hunting tomorrow on some public landing rifle hunt. He blows. He don't run off. He walks off so quiet. So when I get down, I find a little bit of blood right there. And I ease on over to where he had stopped. And I'm shining the light, and I run up on him just, man, like you're pouring out of a bucket.
You sent me like a video of it.
Yeah. I sent you a video, I sent Tony, I sent 2 or 3 videos of the blood trail, and Tony sent back, all right, well, send me the picture of the deer. But, man, the way it all played out, and everybody that bow hunts knows you just can't push them. Man, I've lost a few myself, and I just didn't want to push him, not no good deer anyway, so I come out, and I called you, and we could go back in the morning and bow hunt. He's like, well, where are you gonna put me at? I said, man, I'll put you right on that trail that 6-point walk. One comes through, I'll watch you shoot it. And we get in there in the morning, we hunt. We did see a doe that morning. Like 2 kids up in the tree, because I could see Justin see me.
Yeah, we're sitting there zooming in, taking pictures of each other.
And what did we say, 9 o'clock or 10?
We said at 29 or 10. I think it ended up being like 9:30 when we got down.
Got down, and we hit his blood pressure. It was, you didn't even have to search for it. It just steadily walked, looked. Now, he went a long ways, and man, we dropped off one of them big coves and at the benches. And I was thinking in my mind, we get to the creek and I'm gonna call it. Or if he makes it all the way to that creek, we're just done. He's gonna leave or whatever. We make it, what, 2 benches down?
We made it, yeah. Yeah, it was about 2 benches
About
down.
2 benches down, and I'm scanning, walking, looking and looking out. And when I see a deer laying down there, I just tear out running. I didn't tell Justin, I didn't say there's a deer laying there, I didn't say nothing. I just tore out like an old kid.
Gone.
And,
I got video of all that.
but, boy, the work started then. Son of a gun.
And kind of the same scenario, just playing the mountain, looking for browse
Yeah.
this year. I mean, cause
Yeah, there's another area I'd hunted, man, I don't know what kind of vine them does was eating on. And I wished I'd have got down and went over when it was gone. Looked at it, took a picture of it or whatever, man. These deer really, they was yanking it down and was wearing it out. And I don't know what it was. I just wished I'd have went over and investigated. That way I can look for it when I'm out hunting.
a lot of people overthink a lot of it in reality. But a lot of people don't know, like they wanna know like the legends such as yourself on what y'all's secrets really is. A lot of people just overthink it.
Yeah, and I took Pablo this year. We went on a different public. I told him we'll go down there and scout and we'll come back and hunt. And we just made a walkthrough and come back. And I said, you didn't really learn nothing. He's like, man, all I did, all that subtle sign you was looking at, man, it's normal for me, but I don't know how to look through somebody's eyes that don't know. Because I've been doing it so long and just that little bit of subtle sign. I'll go back and sit on that subtle sign instead of that wore out stuff. And we had a really good hunt on that public land.
Well, a lot of your wore out sign is just about too late. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah,
you hunt your subtle soft sign, eventually it could get wore out in time. If you don't pay attention, you know, a lot of people wants to look just wore out scrapes and wore out rubs, and rubs has already been made.
yeah,
You know, it does tell you a piece of the puzzle of what they're doing, but a lot of all that, they've done come and gone.
right.
And if you're not there within that window of them actually doing that, you're behind the 8 ball. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, hunting certain scrapes and stuff, you're going to get lucky from time to time.
Hey, that's me, lucky. I'll set on a trail. I'll make multiple sets on them because, and the trails there, it's no different than going to the grocery store down here.
Right.
Everybody runs that highway to go down there to it, and that's the way I look at it on these trails. Yeah, deer walk through the woods and meander through and browse through, but they'll run them trails.
There's certain areas that they're gonna use just like we do these highways, just the easiest path or safest.
Least path of resistance.
Yeah, they're gonna use them.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything tied up for next year? Really ain't even got in that mode yet, it's turkey time.
Man, I've had the worst luck with cameras this year. I had 4 to die, I had 1 to work, replaced a couple. Somebody asked me, man, you got any good deer on camera? Going into bow season, I had one buck I would like to hunt. And he just quit coming through there, and then after that, maybe that's what helped me out. I didn't have nothing to just drive me crazy over, because I was just bouncing. And so anything for next year, no. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back in where I had the opportunity this year.
Well, maybe turkey season, and maybe find something new I can go investigate.
I've been trying to keep my eyes open, but it's hard for me whenever I'm in turkey mode. I'm steadily going, trying to find that bird, and I might see a rub or a trail. I'm like, well, there's a trail, then I keep going.
Well, like today, instead of making the same path I done went in and out, I took a different trail out. I mean, I'd stop and call here or there, but I was looking for sheds. I done went deer mode on the way out. I was like, man, and actually, I'm gonna slide in there.
Well, I appreciate you letting me mount them, especially that one, being able to remount him. This makes
It's the third time he's been mounted.
third time.
Yeah, 2011 tornadoes come through, and he really wouldn't messed up a lot, but I decided to go ahead and remount him, and the guy done a good job on him. And it was just, I had it done in extreme sneak, and I got the idea I want to put all my bow kills in one spot on the wall, and it didn't really work out. So I wanted him remounted for that, and the cape didn't match the deer either, the body size, nothing about the deer matched the rack. So now he's kinda got a cape that's,
From my
it,
area.
yeah. So,
Well, I appreciate you letting me do them.
and yeah, I hope I can bring another one. I keep my wife happy. And then after I said, well, this is how I'm gonna have them on the wall. And you actually let me take that farm to the house, and we was holding it up and had the horns on it. And the stud, I thought was gonna be able to put him, it won't work out, and I had to move him over a little bit. And it had a hole there, and she's, I guess, being married to me so long, she knows some of the lingo. She said, well, a full sneak would look good right there. Would fill in that hole. I was surprised.
I like the way you
I like
think.
the way you think, you know. Now, whether I get another one with a bow good enough to mount, that'll probably be my next pose and all. That one that Mears just come out with, full snake to go jam in between all of them.
Yeah, it's actually a fucking extreme full snake. It's an offset shoulder. It look really good. Actually, I've got one already here. I've got a mount on. Well, I hope you get to bring me another next year. I hope you get to smash one of the turkeys in the face.
Me too. I like to eat them.
Yeah. Especially the way you do them in that crock pot. That's good.
I don't. Somebody said, man, you gonna take vacation turkey hunt? I said, no, my vacation's a deer hunt. I like turkey hunt. It's a lot of fun. And I'll wear it out on my off days, but I'm not burning no vacation time for it. I burn it on, I don't know.
I've dedicated the whole entire month for my vacation. I screwed up and done it last year for the first time, and my buddy Anthony, we all hunt a lot together, and we just had a phenomenal year. So I take it now that every year, especially since I went to work for myself, I'm hunting every day that I can, except for today. But I've hunted 5 days in a row this week, or 4 days in a row, and then 5 or 6 days in a row last week. And it's sometime or other you gotta.
Nobody likes a bragger, you know.
Yeah. But anyhow, like I said, I appreciate you bringing them, and I hope he gets you another one put on the bow wall here. I hope he get one regardless, no matter bow or rifle.
Oh, yeah, I'm still,
Call me up and let me help drag again.